there, Love Lights. This is Sandra Bear Davis, the Appalachian Medicine Woman. I'm happy that you have joined with me here today. We're going to be working on planting a little bit of some fall garden, a little patio garden that I can have in an elevated place. Here in Pittsburgh, we have quite the issue with deer and groundhogs decimating the garden. Next year, no doubt, we will have a fence up and keep out. Maybe have it fenced in to where the dogs can stay out there more. But for this year, I'm going to go ahead and put in a fall garden in the patio area. So I'm not going to look at you the whole time because I'm going to start working on onions here. So please excuse me if I'm being rude. Have some really pretty dirt here that we've composted. I went ahead and filled up my pots. This is what I was telling you about in a video I think yesterday when I had gotten a batch of green onions on clearance. I got a bunch of them. I cut them off and cut them into pieces and froze the green onions, but I had the roots left and a little section left, and you can see where some of these little guys are already trying to put out nice little green sprouts. So all you have to do is about once every inch in this pot plant these, and we're going to have these out on the patio come winter. I'm going to put them back in the house. I'm just barely covering them with a little bit of the tip, just the teeniest little bit of this little tip sticking out, just about once every inch in this pot. So we've already got the roots. I went ahead and watered to make sure that the pot was, the soil was nice and moist. And it won't take but a minute or two to get these things knocked out. And then what we'll do is, for the most part, just eat the greens of the onions, although I do like the white part of the onion too. So mostly I'll just cut off the greens. We eat a lot of tabbouleh salad. Got a lot of nice little earthworms in this dirt. It's really good compost. We had some mushroom manure in there from last year. We had some mulch, where the city was doing the trees at. My husband went and we begged them for some loads of mulch. Have some, of course, our kitchen, compost, and just all those layers of things. Grass, the grass from cutting the grass. I believe in mulching it back into the earth, but my husband's not a big fan of that. So the grass, we add that into the compost. And so we end up having this really, really beautiful, beautiful dirt. I'm going to take you on a tour later of the area that we want to expand out our little urban homestead, because right now you really can't hardly even call it that, but our urban homestead dream, I guess it should be. But we're working on it and we'll get there. If you just work on things a little by little, you will achieve great things over the course of years. Just takes that desire and takes just willingness to work and to accomplish. I always forget garden gloves. I'm not one of those type women that, is all prissy-fied. I grew up on a homestead, so I'm still a little bit country. I always will be. Always southern, baby. But this is going really, really quickly. I'll show another video soon of, how many of them take and sprout. I don't really expect every single one to. Some of them I might have cut a little too short. And I also have a bag. I'll have to bring it outside of some other onion sets. I'm going to do this other pot with some actual onion sets, and we're going to also plant these pots with a variety of lettuces. So it'll be nice. I hope you guys are having a really good day. Boy, it's gorgeous here. It's just in the 70s. Here we are in mid-August. It's just in the 70s. It's sunny. It's gorgeous. And I'm feeling so much better. I had gotten Lyme's disease, you know, and I'm finally feeling like me again. It's nice. Alright, I think that's, wait a minute, here's a few more. We'll just pop those around the sides. And then we will have some gorgeous green onions. Done correctly, I will never have to buy onions again. Yeah, so this is part of simplicity and frugality, repurposing things. You know, most of the time people would just throw those roots away, wouldn't they? So, but, you know, you don't really have to do that. You can do the same thing with celery. You know, when you cut the bottom off, it's got roots, you know, it would have had roots. They clip them a little bit, but if you put that down in a pot, you will eventually have some celery start to come up from the center, you know, and then you just eat it and clip it as it goes. It's nice and sweet. So this pot here has its onions. We have a walnut in there. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to look through here and see what kind of lettuces I've got. I got the black-seeded Simpson. I've got arugula. I think I'm going to do the gourmet salad blend in here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sprinkle some all over the top. You know, and let it do its thing. So I'm just going to take a little sprinkle all over the top. And I don't actually need to use all this, so I will put some back for another day. Then I'm just going to kind of ruffle that up a little bit. And this is going to go up on the patio. And we're going to have, you know, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful garden. I'm going to go over, excuse me while I step to the side, I'm going to go get a handful of dirt to throw on here. I just decided I wanted a little bit of a sprinkle of dirt on top. That is mixed in with some grass clippings too. So, alright, now we're going to work on the other pot. I want to make sure I stop before my 15 minutes. Yeah, we're only at 7 minutes. For you, it might feel like eternity. In this pot over here, you see right there, can you see that little guy? This was a cucumber that had managed not to get gotten by the deer, but yet it was not really flourishing. Wasn't getting enough sun. So I'm going to take that, I repotted it, took enough dirt from around the clump so that I hope it never even knows it was transplanted. I'll keep it in the shade for a day or so, and then I'm going to put it up on the balcony in our fall garden. But I'm going to take that right on in because I do not want to wake up in the morning and the lovely deer have eaten it to the ground. Deer and groundhogs is sheer sheesh, sheesh. So let me tilt this around a little bit. Alright, so let's work on this other pot. First of all, let me show you this. Does that look alright like that? Alright. Yeah, that doesn't hurt anything. This is celery root. I had planted some celery seeds out front, and they got so I didn't clip them like I should have. From now on, we'll just use them all and keep them clipped down. But I ended up letting them go to seed, so I kept a bunch of celery seed, but also these roots. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to attempt to plant these and see if they come on back. I don't know. They grew last year. Last year the celery came back for sure. So I'm going to plant these roots and see what happens. You know? And I have also got more seed, of course, for next year. And we're just going to do a little experiment here and see if these celery, I like this celery. I had never had success growing celery until I got this kind. And it is, it's not a bunch. It's not a bunch of like typical what you're used to, what I'm used to. I almost had even forgot what I had planted. And the guy that cuts our grass, he's from Italy. He has like the thick Italian accent, and he's like in his 70s. He was like, oh, some beautiful parsley, Miss Davis. I was like, oh boy, thank you. I wasn't quite sure what that was that was growing in that spot. So that's what you get for being me. Sometimes my enthusiasm and I don't mark things, and you know, issues. But worked out just fine. And the celery is just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm hoping that it'll come back in this pot, and then I also will sprinkle some seeds on here too, so you see if that'll take too. And then I'm hoping to keep a nice pot of celery going all the time. I'll have my cucumbers, as well as, you know, the onions and the lettuce. I am going to transplant and bring in a tomato plant. It's an heirloom tomato plant. I have seen where people will grow those things for like years, you know, and they, you know, go up and they kind of take over a window almost. But you'll have tomatoes, because in the Amazon jungle, that's how tomatoes do. They grow up in trees, and they grow up, keep going up, and they put their fruit out at the top. So that's what they tend to do, is vine up. So I'm going to let that happen. I got a sunny area where we're going to be building a dining nook and like this little L in our dining room. So we're going to have a balcony, patio garden, as well as if I have to get some grow lights for that area, just so I can do the tomatoes and keep the produce going. I'm going to use that at almost like a greenhouse area. Yeah. So that's easily, I can take pots in and out easily off of that balcony there too. So that we want to grow more good greens and healthy things this winter. So I'm going to start in on this next pot of onions. I'm going to stop this video and do a part B. Alright? Love you.